Hi guys, so for my project I decided to do mental health based off the seasons, but mainly how seasonal depression can affect the students of Upstate here in Boone. So yeah. So the main questions that I asked was, how does the cold affect your attitude? I feel like that's a very important one. You carry your attitude with you wherever you go, and it kind of affects your setup for the days, weeks, and months, and how people tend to perceive you. I did, how does the cold affect your grades? That's also a big one. I feel like as a college student, you're constantly thinking and worrying about your grades and making sure that they're good enough. How does the cold affect your memories and your past? Does it make you think about it more? Does it make you more sad to think about it, or happy and grateful to think about it? How does the cold affect your relationships with your friends, family, hometown friends, boyfriends, girlfriends? How does the cold make you feel about being at school? Did you like being at school a lot before it started to switch to seasons? And does it affect you that much to a point where you think you don't want to go here anymore because the seasons are so intense? And how do you get affected overall from the seasons changing? How does it affect you in general? What aspects of your life tend to change? Does your routine change up? Do you go to bed earlier or later? Do you go to the gym? Do you not go to the gym? The type of interviewers that I had, I really wanted to get a different perspective from each viewpoint and in people in different parts of their life. So I feel like I did a pretty good job at getting different ages and different groups of people. For the first, I got a junior finance major who's a female and in a sorority and has a part-time job. For my second interviewer, I got a freshman interior design major who's a female in a sorority and currently does not have a job. For my third interviewer, I got a freshman nutritional science major who's a male on a sports team and currently has no job. And then for my fourth interviewer, I got a junior finance major who's a male in a fraternity and has a part-time job currently. And of course, interviewing them and talking to them, I made sure that they could answer honestly and give me the highlight or peak of their semester. So some of the pictures here are me with my friends. Some of them were interviewed for this project, some of them weren't. And why this is interesting to me is because mental health has always been a big idea in my mind, and I feel like it's a huge topic that needs to be talked about more and given more insight on, so people know how to deal with it when their friends have it, their family members have it. And nearly over half of college students get affected with seasonal depression during their time in school. App State also has huge peaks in each season, so researching how that affects specifically Boone students is super interesting to look at, especially since this is where we go to school, and it could help listeners or even friends and family students to know the statistics. I would say that my main interest and goal for this research project were to find out the extent of how much the seasons affect the college students here, as well as what they usually do to help themselves or their friends get through their hard time. What I've learned from the interviewer, I have a cute little Charlie Brown dancing because it is almost Thanksgiving and Christmas season. From my first interview, she said that seasonal depression affected her more in a way of a reminder that she is growing up and getting older. She is a junior, so she says that once the cold months roll around, it reminds her that it's almost a new year and she might have to look for interviews or spots in a new law firm to audition for and new jobs that she needs to get post-grad. For my second interviewer, she stated that it starting to get cold made her really think about her memories as a kid, being at home. And moving to college is hard enough because it's your first semester alone. But then thinking back to all the holiday memories when you were with your family, not with people that you met a couple of months ago, is most of the time a very hard pill to swallow. Third interviewer, he states how the winter months mainly get hard because his sport gets a lot more demanding than expected, and he misses having the motivation of his family there to support him through him doing what he loves, even though it does take up a lot of time and a lot of mental exhaustion. For my fourth interviewer, he stated how now that he's a junior, everything just starts getting more of high demand during the cold seasonal months, and it just causes a really quick burnout really easily. So the main findings from this, I would say, I found out from this research was not only how and why seasonal depression affects the students of App State so strongly, but how they decide to handle it. Some say they turn to communication a lot with their family or hometown friends. Others choose to do things that they love, like their sport or a comfort hobby like baking or yoga. It was cool to see that so many students are connected in many different ways, especially during the winter, and that not one student is ever alone.